My expectation for the team this year, while I do believe they have a really good chance to win the Super Bowl, is not a Super Bowl trophy. My expectation for the team is another dominating year that shows that they're in the conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's the co-host of Birds 365, say it with me, Big Z, joins us now. How you doing, Z?
What's up, Big Sills? Thanks for having me on, brother. How you doing on a Wednesday edition of the show today?
How you feeling, dude?
Dude, I'm feeling good. I'm really feeling good. I'm excited, one, to get football back. It's the best time of the year for those who are sports fans. Obviously, I think most of us are all, everybody here that's listening is certainly dominant a football fan. I said this a little bit ago. I forget what time of the year was. I think it was either the NBA and NHL playoffs or some earlier time in the MLB. But I said, other sports make me, I'm excited to watch them. I enjoy them. Football gives me fucking goosebumps still, man. Like that game is over a day away, and I already feel the goosebumps coming in. I can guarantee you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, when that game's about to kick off, I'll have shivers running down my spine. I love that about football because you only get so many of them a year. I think the fan base and the passion of the fan base has exceeded every other sports team in this great city, and there's a lot of passion for all the teams in this city. But the Eagles have just catapulted, man, to a new level, and I think you can really feel it. The energy in the air is palpable, Sileo.
Let me ask you this, man. I mean, going into this year, your expectations on this football team, especially with what happened with winning the Super Bowl 9 months ago, I mean, the level is so high. I mean, are you really? I mean, I think there's a shot for fans to be let down because, I mean, Zander, at the end of the day here, it's either Super Bowl or bust now in Philly.
Yeah, I mean,
so no matter what they do, they're not being realistic because, to me, a good understanding about an organization, bro, you've been a great organization for 3 years, even with the shitty 23 season, and you've pointed this out. Bro, when we weren't doing very well, we won 11 ball games. I think the fans don't look at it I think they look at it more in a vacuum and not look at it for, like, you've been really good the last 8 years, right? I mean, you should be reveling in that. You've been to 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. You've won 2 of them. I mean, fuck, dude. The only other organization that has outdone you in the last 8 years has been the Patriots and the Chiefs. You're right there. And if you win another one, you're with the Chiefs. How come they don't celebrate that way?
Well, I think they have their organizational approach. I think when it comes to expectations, though, Sileo, I view this a little different than I think most do. And I'm all right with the way others view it. I mean, I know that it's, Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last, and that's what everybody wants. But, you got to view it through a lens of practicality as well, where if Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, didn't win every time. And my expectation for the team this year, while I do believe they have a really good chance to win the Super Bowl, is not a Super Bowl trophy. My expectation for the team is another dominating year that shows that they're in the conversation. Now, that could mean you lose in a tight nail-biter game in the NFC Championship game. You could lose a Super Bowl like we did in 22. I don't think any of those outcomes would be a letdown. Now, if you get to the playoffs and the Eagles don't look like they're one of the dominant teams that can make it to the Super Bowl, or they quietly squeak in, then I think you're probably looking at a letdown of expectations. I want the team to be one of the 5 best teams in football. I want, when the playoffs start, everybody says, if that team keeps rolling, they're going to the Super Bowl. And look, again, the ball can bounce many ways. There's a lot of luck. There's a lot of different things that go into winning. If we lose a close one in the NFC Championship game, or, we get close to the end and we don't complete it, I'm not going to view it as a negative season. Well, I obviously wish we went further. Absolutely. I think that's human nature, but I don't think we can view this team in the sense of they have to win or it's a failure, because you're setting the team up for a failure, immediately by doing that. You want to be in the conversation. You want to be in that room. You want to continue to be one of the best teams in football. And when the stars align, you want to have the players that take advantage of those opportunities that come. Not every team is built to do that. If the Eagles remain in that room, then I feel good about where they are now and where they're going in the future.
Okay, and agreed. And I think that's a great way to see this here. All right. Landon Dickerson, have you got the latest on what's and how he looks heading into this? Here's my problem with what I'm hearing so far. Well, he's good to go. What does that actually mean? Do I really want Landon Dickerson toughing it out in the first game of the year?
Well,
is that what we're doing here? We want him to tough it out?
Well, look, I think he's ready to go. I don't know what I agree with you. It was a little suspect that he popped up on the injury report the other day with the back. I didn't really know what that meant. He was back to a full participant yesterday. I don't think they put out the injury report today for the walkthrough day yet. Maybe they have put it out. I have to go and double check that. But I'm kind of defaulting here. Like if the Eagles are putting him on the field, like I'm pretty sure he's ready to go. I don't think they would have the approach. I mean, Sills, we talked about this yesterday where you're like, yo, what's up with the multiple positions on defense where they're, they still have different guys battling or they're going to have like a rotational position. And I'm like, that's because they're treating the first couple games like preseason almost. They're still learning about their team. They're not looking to be the finished product in week one. Why would that mentality not apply to Landon Dickerson? You know what I mean? I don't think if he wasn't
you're
ready
looking
to
at
go,
it with the glass half full that he's good to go. You're not looking at it like,
I'm more looking at it from a sense of if he wasn't ready to go, the Eagles have done nothing to show me that they would play that player in week one if there was any risk of playing him. So I'm taking their word for it. Again, it's not something I love to do. I am naturally a person that questions the narrative. That is just the kind of guy I am and always have been. But I do trust them because I think when you look at all the moves that they've made, some of them to the point where they've been criticized for it, everything has been for player safety. And we're getting to week one, Sills, September 4th tomorrow. And the whole goal of offseason and training camp, more than prep, more than game planning, more than, chemistry, has been be healthy. And they're getting there and they're healthy tomorrow with the exception of Tanner McKay with the thumb. So I think that it was a successful offseason from that regard. And if Landon's out there, I'm assuming he's 100%.
How are you sold on the pressure that you're going to need in this game against Dak Prescott on Thursday night? Because I think you're going to, if you don't get pressure with some of the holes you have in your secondary, and you don't get that quarterback on his back or at least moving him around in that pocket, one thing Dak can do, dude, the better quarterback in the game on spinning the ball is the guy in Dallas. Jalen has more tools. He can run, he can throw, he has all that. But the one thing Dak does in this game is he throws the ball better than any quarterback in this game. So my question would be, if you don't get pressure and Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith don't get pressure on him, I don't care who you are, dude. They're going to find these pro guys are going to find opening holes. Who are you more concerned about, the safeties position, or are you more concerned about the corner position in this game against Dallas?
Well, I think the Cowboys are more positioned to take advantage of the corner because of the receivers they have. And they do have two great receivers. And then the other thing that they've added in, or at least are trying to add in, and we had John Machado on Birds 365, who covers the Cowboys for The Athletic, did a great job and was great on our show, gave us some behind enemy lines insight. And he's like, one of the things that Brian Schottenheimer's been talking about doing was getting Kevontae Turpin more involved in the offense, not just the return game. They want to make his speed a weapon. So if you just hear me out for a second, now this could be on the safeties too, but if you're smart enough to not put CD in the slot and assume that the Eagles aren't going to take Cooper out of the slot, all right, you can put CD on one side, you can put George Pickens on the other side, and you can put Turpin in the slot. Now, that's going to distract Cooper DeJean because he's going to have his hands full with a player that fast. You could potentially even spread the field with him. If Quinyon Mitchell's on CD Lamb, I don't think they'd go to CD. That's a good matchup, and I'll take the Eagle. I'm happy with that. Well, now you got George Pickens picking on Adoree Jackson with really not much room for help. Because think about it, your safeties are probably going to have to give Cooper DeJean help over the top of the guy like Kevontae Turpin. So what safety are you going to shade to decide to help Adoree Jackson? Probably Reed Blankenship or
You're
McCougar,
talking about
whoever it
clear
might
out
be.
routes.
What's that?
You're talking clear out routes. You're talking about a guy with great speed like an Xavier Worthy or this kid
Right.
Turpin that takes it up the field, and you're running underneath routes.
Well, I
You're
just think
doing
the
these
Eagles have good
crossing routes
players.
because that zone, remember Zander too, that's where I go back to you about that linebacker drops. If you're taking a guy in the speed and you're using your, instead of on the numbers, you usually use speed guys on the numbers, not in the slot.
Right.
And you're saying if you're going to put that dude in the slot and run him up the field, you're right. Cooper's got to get depth and he's got to get deep, and the too high has to get deep. Those are a lot of underneath routes, and you're going to be seeing more in that zone of underneath. And that means this is Q traveling then? Because that means you're going to put CD out there more, and that means Pickens is on the way.
That's what I mean. I think I mean, I'm sure they're looking at it the same way. But I mean, if they put CD in the slot, it makes your life easier because now you're looking at Cooper's got CD in the slot, Quignon's got Pickens on the outside, and you're probably looking at Adoree Jackson with help from Reed Blankenship to manage whoever they line up on the other side. Texas Boy in the chat, who are they lining up as the slot receiver tomorrow, do you think? Texas Boy. Let me know in the chat who you think the Cowboys are going to line up in the slot tomorrow, if it's not CeeDee Lamb. Or if that's not the right question.
I think it's a combination of all. I think it's a combination.
Right. Who's the third receiver for the Cowboys? Because I do think the way the Eagles play, the Cowboys could try and put themselves in a position to take advantage of it. Now, doesn't mean they're going to, but that's the one clear spot where the Eagles could potentially get exposed is the corner spot. And if they're not able to mask Adoree Jackson, I mean, think about it. Let's just assume Quinyon Mitchell follows CeeDee Lamb everywhere, which I don't think is going to happen. Let's just assume that he does, though. All right. Who's going to cover deep? George Pickens or Kevontae Turpin? Forget which one. Who's going to cover them? Is Adoree Jackson built to cover them deep?
Absolutely not.
I mean, they do have the advantage there.
They have the advantage in speed.
Well, and Dak is a good thrower.
And experience.
Dak's a good thrower of the football, Sills. I mean, I know Eagles fans love the shit on Dak, but Dak's had no problem dicing and slicing this division for a long time. I think he's 33-8 versus this division.
Which is
insane. And somebody brought up a great argument. I think it was John, actually. He was like, Eagles fans love to tell me that Jalen Hurts is a winner, and that's fine. But, all right, Dak Prescott's a winner in the East, too. Can't you take that same principle and apply it to what Dak's done?
Of course you can.
So he's going to – and with
Eagle fans indict Dak for the postseason, but they forget the fact during the regular season, he's dynamic. Okay, and I give him that. You're right. Postseason, that's for 6 months from now. But right now, tomorrow night, has everything to do with that number that you just said about him owning the NFC East and playing well in the regular season. Actually, the postseason has nothing to do with tomorrow night.
No, it doesn't.
Nothing.
That's true.
So, all those comments about him folding in the postseason has no relevance to tomorrow night.
Injury report just dropped, brother.
Let's hear it.
It's good for the Eagles front. Basically same as yesterday. Tanner McKay did not practice. He's out for the game, so they officially ruled him out. And then Carter, Dickerson, Makuba, and Uche, all full participants with no game designation. So basically means they're all going to play tomorrow. And then the other news that we weren't sure of, and that Machota wasn't sure of either. Thank you. I knew it's Tolbert. That's the name I was forgetting. Jalen Tolbert. The other news is that it looks like Tyler Guyton's going to play as well. Now, I don't think Tyler Guyton's all that good, to be honest with you, but he's better than the backup. So that's something of note as well, that he's going to play. Trayvon Diggs is going to play. So Cowboys relatively healthy too. Remember, the interesting thing with Guyton is he had that injury scare that we thought his ACL got torn, and then they kind of rescinded the report almost.
I was shocked he wasn't ended for the year like the kid in Los Angeles. Hey, 500. That has no relevance for tomorrow night. I mean, it really doesn't. The postseason stuff on Dak has no bearing tomorrow night. I mean, if you look at what he's done during the regular season, the conversation is about tomorrow, not postseason. There's nothing postseason related tomorrow.
Look at Joe. I do love
nothing to do with it.
If one thing, Dax 33-8, Joho, you're glazing the Cowboys. I'm not glazing the shitty Cowboys, Joho. Shut up, Joho.
Ah,
Take your emotional ass out of
everybody
here.
thinks
I'm
you
having
glaze
a real
somebody when
football
you
discussion about what's going to take place on the field tomorrow. Joho, sit back, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Come on, Joho.
Hey, I gotta throw something at you, and you tell me if you think this is fucking nuts. Every time I hear you and John talk about this, it drives me nuts. So to me, when you have do you believe that you have a football team that dictates what it wants to do versus teams? Do you believe that the Eagles go into a football game like tomorrow night, they can do what they want to do?
Absolutely.
Okay, I do too.
Yeah.
Well, then I hear you and John. I don't know so much you, but I hear this. Well, the game's going to dictate how many passes and how many runs. Fuck that. I'm going to get the ball, run it down your face. I'm dictating tempo. I'm telling you who the boss is. I'm running the ball. I'm not waiting to see what you want to do. I have the attitude. I have the Lombardi trophy. I'm the guy that's going to be talking shit to you. I'm the person. You really think that I'm going to dictate by what Dallas does? Bro, Dallas doesn't frighten me at all. I'm going to fucking run the ball right down your face and punch you in the mouth. That'd be like me getting into a fight with a guy he's a jabber, and I'm a knockout guy. Why would I do that? Why would I get into a fight with a guy? I'm a knockout guy, bro. I'm not going to sit there and I'm like George Foreman. You know what that is?
You're not.
I'm not looking. Oh, well, tell you what, Junior. Back in the day, Big Sil's breaking case of glass. I'm retired now. I'm a pacifist now. But I like George Foreman's attitude. You know what it is? I'm not looking to win rounds. I'm looking to win the fight.
Well, it's a good way to put it.
George Foreman wasn't looking to win rounds. He said it on this program before he passed away.
Yeah,
he goes like
that's
this.
right. We had him right before he passed. That was cool, man. Rest in peace to George Foreman.
He goes like this. Look, I don't want to win rounds. I'm gonna win the fight. So I don't like that mentality, dude.
Can't say shit on this. Can't be objective for even a second without.
No way. Not around these guys. Not around these guys. All right,
Prince. I love you, Prince.
I actually do too. I give him a lot of shit. He gives me a lot of shit.
You were a little angry at the listeners today.
Not angry.
You seemed a little angry.
Honest.
All right. Well, my honest assessment of it is that you were a little angry.
Okay. Yeah, because when I tell you something that's going to happen in this ball game, it's going to happen.
You're not telling me shit, guy. Until you start to get the couple things right, you're not telling me.
I did already. Shit. I told your boy Keely Ringo would never win that job.
Oh, good one. I think a blind squirrel could have got that one right.
Well, we're going to find out how many of these replacements.
I've been questioning Keely Bingo all
this, guys. So far, we're going into this game tomorrow with Big Sills looking awful good that you haven't replaced these guys. You know why? You got multiple co-starters heading into this game. And I said you wouldn't replace any of those guys. And you got all co-starters at every position I said. Who's co? Hit the safety. Who's co? The corner. Who's co? The linebacker.
Dirty Air says somebody pissed in your Cooper Crunch this morning. I think what he needs is actually a bowl of Cooper Crunch. That might save Big Sil. It's like that Snickers commercial. You're not you when you don't have a Snickers bar or something. That's what Sills needs. He needs some Cooper's Crunch.
I got it going on here.
Yeah, man. These listeners, they almost got me to spend $250 today on cereal and a cereal bowl. They almost got me to pull the trigger, and my Apple Pay didn't work.
Hey.
And I when the show ended, I quickly exited out of that tab. I said, "Let me get out of this thing."
I mean, but Xander's like, I got $250 on a bowl and 18 boxes of Crunch.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on that, man. I love you, Coop, but
you think it's a blowout tomorrow night?
No, I don't think it's a blowout. I mean, I think the team is. I mean, look, the Eagles are. The week one is. It could be a blowout, but I think it's less likely because the Eagles aren't their best form yet. I mean, look, you said it perfectly to open your show today. You said September is a month of lies. It is. If you judge the Eagles season off of September last year, you just said they would have barely made the playoffs. They would have stunk. You know, the defense would have been one of the worst in the league. Jalen Hurts would have been a turnover machine all season. Saquon Barkley had the drop in the Falcons game in the Falcons game. I mean, September, there's a lot of it. I've been saying this for weeks. The biggest advantage the Cowboys have in the game tomorrow is that it's week 1. Is that it's early in the football season. The ball bounces funny ways. You don't know yet who's going to have chemistry, who's going to have rust, who's going to have to work their way into the season. Remember, we won week 1 last year with 3 turnovers. It was a sloppy football game, so that's what I think is the number one thing that the Cowboys have to their advantage in this game. But overall, I do think we're in a good spot. I mean, I don't think a blowout, but I could see like a 10-point W. I think a 10-point W is likely.
I still got 31-20. I'm there right now.
You gave out your score a little earlier for this game.
I'm not.
I think that's kind of right in my ballpark too. Honestly, I'm pretty close to you now in my head.
Yeah, I'm for my pregame stuff and my stuff tomorrow. I don't think I'm deviate off that. I think I'm right there with that. I think it could be close early. You know what I mean by close too, Zander? Like 21-7. That's close for Dallas. And then all of a sudden they pull away and Dallas scores some points late. I just don't see where they're going to generate. Now, I'll tell you what, if the Eagles don't get the pass rush going, they're going to score points, Dallas.
Oh,
if
no
they
doubt.
If they do not get a pass rush tomorrow night, okay, they're going to move the ball. Okay? I mean, they're going to. All right. So here's my Super Bowl finally here on the eve of going into the season. And here's why I picked it. I've got the Ravens. And I'm going here. Do you trust the Rams and Stafford?
I'm a little concerned about that back with Stafford, but I do think they have the best team in the West.
I do too. And
John's been bringing this up though, and he's right. The 49ers schedule is so damn easy. Like they might have a bounce back year. Remember, they had a lot of injuries last year.
Been saying it all offseason.
Yeah, so they could have a bounce. I don't think they're good enough.
They're not better than the Rams, but they're going to win more games than the Rams.
Yeah, well, that could be interesting.
Because they got the worst schedule in the league.
That could be interesting. That could be interesting. So we'll see. I still like the Rams over there in that division, though, honestly. I just feel like the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC this year. I do. I think they're going to have a chance to be one of the best teams in the NFC.
With Stafford, right?
Yeah, but if that back is okay, that guy can play.
Dude,
man, we all saw what he did to us in the snow last year.
I know, man. Green Bay, here's where I am with them. Look, I mean, Parsons, does he really swing the needle to get them into the NFC Championship?
John apparently does. He picked them to win the North. He's got them as the biggest contender for the Eagles in the NFC. I mean, holy shit. John's acting like Micah Parsons has catapulted Green Bay to the top of the top of the top.
I'm not there then. I'm not there with that.
Jordan Love is too streaky for me.
Too streaky.
He's too streaky. One year he shows up, he dominates the Cowboys in the playoffs. It was a beautiful thing to watch. The next year he comes back, it looks like he can't throw the football. I don't know what to make of the guy. I don't know what to make of him. He was shit last year versus us in the playoffs too. I think they had like 10 points in that game.
What do you make of the Lions?
I think they're really good. I think they lost some really good offensive linemen, and they lost 2 really good coordinators. So what does that do to a football team?
Both head coaches now.
Yeah. What does that do to a football team? In Philly, it wasn't great for us in 23 when that happened. So, I think that could be a factor. I think Dan Campbell is more positioned to handle it than Sirianni was at the time. And I think they play a little bit of a different brand of football. And my concern with them is, while I don't think Ben Johnson leaving is a big deal, but what does that mean for Jared Goff? Because Jared Goff is not an improvising quarterback. Jared Goff is tell me where to put the ball and I will put it there perfectly, accurately, on time and on target. Ben Johnson created the perfect route concepts for Jared Goff to be able to thrive in that type of environment.
Great rhythm.
Not right. He was a rhythm thrower all year, and he really is a good player in that setup. So if you take that away,
I know,
and that offensive coordinator over there isn't able to scheme guys open as easily or as successfully or as consistently as Ben Johnson did, I think you're going to have some problems there with that offense. Now, here's the thing. While I think that could be a problem, they got Jahmyr Gibbs. They got who's
Davenport.
the other back? Who's the other back?
Is it Davenport?
No. The other back I'm blanking on. Shoot, what the fuck?
Montgomery.
David Montgomery. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They just traded Tim Patrick, which I thought was kind of stupid. They got Jamison Williams. They got Sam Laporte of the time. Like, they got a lot of weapons. It's hard for me to think that they're going to stink. But do I think they could not win the North? I do think that maybe is possible. Remember, that's a division last year that had a 15-win team, a 14-win team, and a 12-win team. That's pretty unheard of. I mean, that's a lot of good teams.
And you got a team in the Bears that's gotten better.
Well, right. So they were like 5 for whatever they won last year. Now think about this. Ready? The 12-win team added Matthew Golden and Micah Parsons. Okay. What does that make them? A 14-win team, maybe?
Right.
The 15-win team lost some coordinators in the center. Where do they fall to? How far is that fall?
They might cannibalize one another, though, a little bit.
And the Vikings got better, but the quarterback the quarterback uncertainty is bigger than ever. So that's a very interesting division. I mean, that's gonna be almost fun to see how that plays out. I happen to like the Lions still because I am a Jared Goff guy. I think he's a good player. I think he's an underrated player. I respect the way he plays the game. Not the perfect quarterback, not going to make it happen, but when things are right around him, he can really thread the needle, and I appreciate that about a quarterback, an accurate quarterback. So I like them still because I don't trust Jordan Love and I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. And that's it. That's the bottom line of why I'm picking the Lions to win that division. I just trust the quarterback more than I trust the other two.
I want to do this with you then. And I'll give you my Super Bowl at the end here. Let me go over to the AFC with you. You got the
bold predictions, by the way, for the year. Couple left.
How about this one here? I need a piece of paper. Hang on. AFC East.
Who do you got there? Patriots? Who's in the East?
Is Dolphins, Patriots, Bills, and Jets.
Yeah, that's easy. That's the easiest division maybe in football.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. That Patriots team, I think, is going to shock some people.
Well, I've been saying Drake May's ahead of schedule since last year. Drake May looks good.
I'll get back to the wild cards in there, bud. They're in my hunt for a wild card.
I think you're 1 year out on that yet, but I don't hate that opinion.
AFC North, Baltimore, Steelers, Bengals, Browns. Who you got in that one?
Baltimore. I think Bengals bounce back, get closer to the playoffs this year. I think they're a wild card team this year. Steelers that's a good division. I mean, the Steelers have a sneaky chance to be good, but it all depends on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is either going to play pretty good or he's going to legitimately solidify himself as washed. Yeah. That's it. So that's what's going to happen there in Pittsburgh. If he's okay, though, I mean, shoot, they could be a solid squad. They got some good players over there. Now, I don't like the receiving core. They got rid of Pickens, added Metcalf. After Metcalf, I don't even know. Can you even name the second receiver there?
No.
So if I had Aaron Rodgers at 40 or 41 or whatever he is, 42, I probably would have went for another receiver if I were them, but they didn't. So I think that could bite them. That's really it.
I'll tell you this in that North. After watching the Browns scrimmage and play against the Eagles, they got talent there somewhere, man. I mean, they just don't have the quarterback position figured out. Their old line is not awful, man. It's a good group of guys that they have. And all I heard from the Eagle guys was, man, they got a lot of talent over there, especially on the defensive side of the football. Mm-hmm. If Flacco can find the fountain of youth, you're going to make that division. Like, I'm not telling you they're a playoff team, but I'm telling you they could win a game against one of those.
They can make games hard.
Right.
You know who else I think
you're going to make that division. You're going to make that division interesting, even with the worst team in that division.
Yeah. Now, you know who else I think can make games hard this year? Now, this is on the NFC side, so we'll stay on the AFC for a bit, but just to throw it out there, I think another team that people are discrediting, which rightfully so, they're not ready to compete, but I think a team that could make games hard this year is the New York Football Giants. That defensive line is really good. And when you have a defensive line that can get pressure, you're going to make life hard on offense. It's just the way football is played, right? I mean, if you can get pressure up front, you're going to throw the best of the best of the best quarterbacks off their game. Look at Tom Brady. The only way the Giants beat them in those 2 Super Bowls was because they got the pressure on the defensive line. It wasn't because Eli Manning had these crazy great games. Now, Eli deserves a lot of credit, but that's the kryptonite. So that team, I think, is a sleeper just from a sense of they can steal some games. They're not a playoff team. They're not ready for that, but they could steal some games.
They're going to make life harder. You know what I think is going to make life harder for you too? Keep an eye on Carolina.
Yeah, I could see that.
I
could see
think
that.
Carolina's going to make some teams.
Yeah,
I'm
they've
not,
added some good talent.
not ready to compete yet, but I think they're going to make some lives difficult. How about the AFC South? Tennessee, Houston, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville. With Jacksonville being, again, if you look at their roster, now I got a first-time head coach in Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator from the Buccaneers. But, I mean, bro, the receiver, that Thomas kid, NTN, Trevor, I mean, they improved the offensive line. Plus, they got Travis Hunter. I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah, they got talent. They got talent.
There's talent there.
You know, they should have talent. They've been picking top 5 for the last 20 fucking years.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit. But, you're right. That division, I have Texans, Jaguars, Colts, and then whoever I'm leaving out.
Texans, Titans,
right? So I have Texans first in that division.
That's the South.
Yeah, South. Okay. I got the Texans winning that.
Okay, in the AFC West, I think this is going to be more competitive than what.
Whoa, R. Anthony has a big year for Cam Ward. If you got them going second, I do think Cam Ward's going to be better than people think.
Yeah, I just don't know who their skilled people are.
Not many.
They don't really have a lot of skilled people. I think this is going to be one of the more improved divisions in football. You got Broncos, Chargers. I think the Raiders. By the way, this Genty kid now looks like he could be a first-round pick that the Raiders have picked. Bowers was a grand slam a year ago. This Genty kid looks like he might be a grand slam. And you got the Chiefs. I'm going to tell you here, Zander, this division I think is going to get better. What does Geno Smith, and I think because they got Geno Smith in there for Pete Carroll, because he feels comfortable that he knows how to win ball games for him. I think the Raiders are going to be a sneaky team to make teams have to really play hard. I don't believe they're a contender. But, boy, I'll tell you what, Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs, that's going to be a fight for the West, I think.
Yeah, so a lot of people picking the Chargers this year. John picked the Chargers this morning in the West there. I still like the Chiefs, but I do think the Broncos are probably the closest in my eyes. I think that's a nasty good defense. Bo Nix was much better than I expected him to be in his rookie year. And Sean Payton has kind of righted the ship a little bit over there. So he's done a good job. Not my favorite coach, but you got to give him credit. When it comes to the Raiders, I love everything that they've done in the last couple of years, except for one thing.
Quarterback.
I don't love what they did with Geno Smith.
I know.
I didn't love that move for them. I like Geno. I was a fan of Geno.
I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers there.
Yeah, me too. So I didn't love that move. I do think Geno is a little bit of an underrated quarterback. He's the kind of guy that can win you some games, can move the ball downfield, and can sneaky make plays. I just think I don't think he's going to be good enough. I don't think he's going to be the right fit there in Vegas. But you're right. They do have some good skill position guys. There's no doubt. And then the Chargers, I mean, look, they're coming. They got Harbaugh. They got Herbert. You heard Joe Montana talk about Herbert the other day on the show, called him, one of his top 3 quarterbacks. So if Joe Montana says you're good, I think you're good. Yeah. It's like one of those things. But we know what Herbert is, and everybody's going to hold the 4 picks, as I will. I don't throw 4 picks in the playoffs if you don't want to get shit on for it, guy. So, but they're a sleeper. They could be good. I'm sorry, though. I'm still going Chiefs there, man. You're telling me.
I'm going Chargers.
All right, yeah, John went Chargers too.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers there.
Well, this is my problem with it.
I love the coach. I love Jim Harbaugh, man.
I'm not against Andy and Pat Mahomes yet, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
No shade on that. I get it. I mean,
not.
it's to bet against those guys. What is it? 9 straight years they've been in the AFC Championship game.
Yep, 9 straight.
I mean, right?
Broncos are a good one in that division, though. Dirty Air. I do like them. I do like Broncos.
Here's my wild card teams: Chiefs, Bengals, and I'm going to go on the limb. I'm going to keep this sheet here too. Patriots.
Wow. Chiefs, Bengals.
There's your 7.
Yeah. See, so I'm going to go Chiefs in, and then I'm going to go either the Chargers or the Broncos as a wild card. I actually think there's an opportunity for both of those teams to be wild card teams.
So they get 3 in.
Well, that would be obviously a tough feat, but I do think it's possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
NFC North did it last year.
Yeah, right. NFC North did exactly. Perfect example. So it doesn't happen often, but I'm not going to go there yet with you with the Patriots. Now, I do like your confidence, though. I mean, Drake May, Mike Vrabel kind of has brought a culture back to that locker room. Drake May looked way better than people are giving him credit for last year. He did. He looked pretty good, man. So Drake May, I think, can play. He just needs to have a better setup around him. I'm not really sold yet that they've put the pieces around him necessary just yet. I think they've improved some things, but who'd they add? Stephon Diggs? I don't.
Who'd they add in the draft? I mean, I know they got Milton Williams. They added him. By the way, they're very excited.
I like that move for them.
They're very excited about him. They think he really had a absolutely great camp. I agree with you on the Chiefs too. I get it. Hard to go against Andy and all, but who'd they take in the draft, the Patriots? I forget. Did they take an old lineman? They did. They took an old lineman. That's who they took. I forget.
Yeah, tackle from LSU, that kid.
Yeah, the LSU kid. That's right. All right, so let's go over to the
I love
NFC.
that kid, by the way.
Yeah, it's great.
Love that kid. That's a guy I'd want with my young quarterback too.
Okay, let's.
Cam, what'd you say? Go to the Supers?
No. Let's do the NFC here.
Oh, all right, yeah, I thought that's what you said.
All right. So obviously you're going Eagles, right, in the NFC East.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that too. I mean, John called me a homer for picking the Eagles this morning. I don't think I'm being a homer. I'm looking at it objectively. I really do think the Eagles are close. Yeah, I think they're still the best team in the East, man. I do. I think they're still the best team in the East. I think they're a team that's positioned to continue their success. They got a good offensive line still. They still have brought back a lot of good players in the defensive line while there is some question marks there. I think they're going to be built to beat most of the other teams in the East in the trenches, with the exception maybe of that Giants team. But again, we got a great offensive line, so we're the one team that can handle that Giants D-line. Like the Cowboys offensive line, they're going to get beat up by that Giants D-line. You know, even the Commanders' O-line, I don't love what they did on the offensive line. So I think the Eagles are still the team to beat in the East, and I don't think that's homerish either.
I don't either. I mean, I think.
Who are you picking to win the East? You going Commanders?
I'm going Commanders. I am. I'm going Commanders because of the young quarterback.
However, all year long, aren't I?
However, I'm gonna, like I said, I think this is things. I mean, dude, I think it's gonna be coin toss stuff. What I don't like about the schedule, Zander, is that why is Washington so far back on the fucking back end where you're playing those two? Aren't the Eagles playing like the last three games? There's two of them against the Commanders, right? It goes 16. Commanders, then it goes Bills or something like that.
Commanders, Bills, Commanders to end the year.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why would you schedule something like that? It just doesn't make sense.
Eagles got a tough schedule, man. Got a tough schedule. It's gonna be fun.
They do have a tough schedule here.
It's gonna be fun.
This North is going to be the Bears. Undefeated also in the preseason. That doesn't really tell me a lot, except for one thing. I did watch them a bunch. They look way improved, man. They just look improved. Plus, the Packers improved. Minnesota, like you said, they improved, but kind of, because, you know, with all the moves they made, you still do. Okay, well, you still have a rookie quarterback. I don't give a shit that he's on the team a year now, even though he had to have like a redshirt year because he blew his knee out. And then you have the Lions with the most talented team in that division. Boy, who do you got in this one, man? The North.
Got Lions. Got Lions again. I got Lions, Packers. The Bears are a sleeper. I like the Bears this year, but I don't like them good enough yet. To put them over the Vikings. So I'm gonna go Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears there.
I'm still gonna hang with you and go Lions.
Okay.
I just think there are too many good players on that team. Plus, Golf has done. I mean, look, if Golf can't handle having another coordinator like Jalen can handle, then you know the conversation about Jared Goff is, well, dude, then he has to have like everything. Jalen does, you know, for all the things people say about Hurts having everything perfect around him, he doesn't. He doesn't have the play caller. The play caller has never been perfect around him. You know why? He's never had continuity.
No, yeah.
He's never had continuity in his entire career in Philly. So it's not been perfect, right? I mean, you know what perfect is, Zander? Perfect is KC, where you have the same dude in your ear for 9 years. That's perfect. You know what I mean? I mean, he's not had it perfect here.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't had it at all.
So, all right, the South. I got the Bucks here. I don't really think that's a debate. Now, I do think Carolina, keep an eye on Atlanta, dude.
No, no. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying Michael Penix even for 1 second.
They beat the Bucks twice last year.
I'm not buying Michael Penix. I'm sorry, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. I can't buy Michael Penix. So I'm out on them.
Rams, Niners, Cardinals, Seahawks.
Rams. Got to go Rams.
I got 49ers here.
You're going Niners? You and John
Niners.
are similar. You and John have had some very similar division picks.
The reason I'm going Niners is because of who they're playing. I think the Rams are better, though. Like, the Rams are going to have a lesser record, in my opinion, because of the schedule they're playing. They're playing the fourth worst schedule, bro. Okay, I mean, I don't – they're not playing anybody really tough. Now, I'll tell you this. What does Sam Darnold bring to the Seahawks? If he brings that type of year he had in Minnesota to Seattle with that defense, Zander, Seattle's going to be a sleeper team to go a long way.
Who's the offensive coordinator over there?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
Clint Kubiak.
Oh, wow. Huh?
It's actually a good fit.
I'm telling you, if you got 4,500 passing yards in Seattle, Seattle's going to go to the divisional game. Bro, they got a great defense. They can play, man. Just because they're out there in the Pacific Northwest, people don't really keep an eyeball on them. So here's my playoff.
Yeah, well, they're in the left coast. They're in the shitty coast where you are.
I got – hey, so here's my wild card teams.
People on the East Coast don't pay attention to that shitty coast over there.
What's that?
I don't know why you live over there. When are you moving back to the East Coast? Let's go. I'm going to shit on Philly 500 too. Even Mark Holmes lives over here on the East Coast. Philly 500 and Sileo. It's like, what are you guys doing?
I don't know. Really. I poke my eyes out every day.
Bunch of Mr. People? And you have a bunch of buttercups over there.
Oh, my God.
I like buttercups.
Who's your three?
I like a dude who's going to honk at me in traffic if I cut him off.
Tell you to go fuck yourself?
No asshole.
Hey, you're like a guy to tell you to go fuck yourself?
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Flip me the double bird. I'm good with that. I'd rather have that. What'd you say?
Who are your three teams coming out in the wild card?
For the NFC?
Yeah.
Well, I got the Eagles. You got the Lions. You got the Bucks, and you got who am I missing on the fourth division winner? Eagles, Lions, Bucks. Oh, and Rams. And then I got 49ers, Commanders, and Packers.
Yeah. Here's mine. Division winners, I got Commanders, Lions, Bucks, 49ers.
Wait, did you pick the Lions too?
Yes.
Okay.
And I got my three teams are Eagles, Packers, Rams. I'll tell you what, dude. The run for the NFC Championship this year, listen to this. Rams, Packers, Eagles, Niners, Bucks, Lions, Commanders. That sounds right to me. Those, I think, are the seven best teams in the NFC right there, or at least the seven best rosters. And you could flip any one of these around, and it's all going to come down to injury. I think in the AFC, I think it's going to be more dictated still by the quarterbacks. But those rosters over in the NFC, bro, that's more roster-driven. The Rams are a roster-driven team. The Packers are roster-driven. The Eagles, the Niners, the Bucks, the Lions.
And to be honest with you, Sills, I think the narrative that all the best quarterbacks in the AFC is dying. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still really good quarterbacks in the AFC. But what I think has happened is the flashier quarterbacks are in the AFC. Like, Hear me out. Ready? I know Jalen Hurts isn't your favorite style of quarterback, but the success can't be denied.
Nope.
Matthew Stafford is what he is and could potentially be in the Hall of Fame one day. Baker Mayfield threw for fucking 4,500 yards last year and 41 touchdowns.
I know.
41. I'll repeat that. 41 touchdowns. Do you understand how many touchdown throws that is? That is a lot of touchdown throws.
And those receivers were
he's not the flashy guy. He's not Herbert or Mahomes or Burrow or Allen. I get that. But he's a really good quarterback. Jared Goff, another guy who, in the right system, thrives and throws the ball very well, very accurate quarterback. Like, I don't really think that Jaden Daniels, another guy who's emerged in the top 10. Brock Purdy, I don't really think is up in that top 10 range, but a competent quarterback. I mean, I think there's better quarterbacks in the NFC than people think. the flashier ones are in the AFC for sure. But I think there's a good stable of quarterbacks in the NFC. And with those rosters that you rightfully have said are built better in the NFC.
They're better teams.
Yeah, and I think, the best teams win football, not the best quarterbacks. It's just how it goes, or else Joe Burrow would be the champion every year. I mean, who are we kidding? Man, nobody throws the ball better than that guy right now in football. Nobody.
Look, Bills. I got Bills, Lamar, CJ, Herbert. I got Drake May, and I've got, what's his name, Mahomes, and I've also got Burrow. Those are the quarterbacks in my AFC. The Patriots are a reach for me. But I don't know. I think they've done a lot, and I love Mike Vrabel. I'm a huge Mike Vrabel fan. Let's get to Supers before we get to the Battle Royale, which should be absolutely fabulous because it's the eve of the game tomorrow night. I can't wait to hear. And by the way, Mark Holmes, this will be the first time we get a chance to hear him and his comments on Micah Parsons being traded.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what Mark has to say about it. Remember, last week we had him on, and him, Philly 500, I don't know if he's listening still, but he was like Nostradamus last week. He's like, Mark, I feel like they're going to trade Micah.
He was
and
right.
Mark's like, nah, they're not going to trade Micah. And Philly's like, I think they might trade Micah, Mark. And then, boom, the next day, boom, Micah Parsons shipped to Green Bay.
He was right.
Like, who does Philly 500 know out there on the West Coast?
That's right,
so I thought that was pretty interesting. I can't wait to hear what Mark has to say. My take to Mark would be, though, kind of the take that you've had on edge rushers, because you've almost walked me. I'm not saying they didn't get rid of a great player. They obviously got rid of a great player, but you can survive in this league without a great edge. You got a better interior. You still have half decent edge rushers. They're not great. You don't have a big splash guy like you did with Micah, but I don't think they made their team that much worse. They lost a really good player. I don't think their team
didn't replace him with a really good player.
Well, I don't know if they're.
Look, I think Clark's good, man, but I don't think he's
good.
bad.
But he's good, but he's not Michael level. But he does improve the interior.
He does.
He improves the interior. So I don't think Mark has to be as concerned about it as he was.
Look at the last two teams in the Super Bowl. Name me one premium edge rusher that was in the last.
You've been hammering that point for a couple weeks now.
Look, that kid. What is his name? Carl Aftis. He's good, but is he sensational? He's not a sensational ball player, is he? I think he's okay, not great. I mean, Kansas City's not gotten anywhere with a sensational edge rusher. They've been to 5 Super Bowls, right? I don't know. I mean, I think that position's I think it's overrated.
Yeah.
Let's get to some of the supers, bro.
Well, you might be right. I mean, look at the Eagles. They agree with you, it appears.
I think Howie's bought into that.
Yeah. Kimberly checks in. Nick says 62 college starts. Reps matter for my hobby. Yeah, no, it's true.
62 college. I think,
like the dude played 8 years. For fuck's sake.
I'll tell you what, though. I think that helped Purdy out with those 38 starts that he had at Iowa State.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it makes you more prepared having all those.
Well, I think it's. I mean, and then Sills on the inverse of that. You take a guy with all this talent who plays 10 games in college, Anthony Richardson, or 12 games. And the guy can't, can barely breathe.
Trey Lance.
Right. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, it's one of the things that I think is lost in the NFL today. And it's because of an impatient society. I mean, think about it. Every time a quarterback gets drafted, and I even think they're making the mistake with Cam Ward, and I like Cam Ward a lot. I think he's going to be good. I think he's actually one that will be able to handle it. And you're seeing instances, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, a lot of these guys are ready. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Brett Veach traded up to the 10th pick to draft Patrick Mahomes, and they put him on the bench for a year. In a world where every quarterback is being put in an easy bake oven and saying, if you don't come out perfect, you're going to be moved on from, I don't think that's the best recipe. So, Kimberly, to your point, these college reps, they go further than people think, man. Those are significant reps. Now, it's a different level. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to compete at the NFL. There's plenty of college guys that have 62 starts that aren't going to play in the NFL. But for the guys who are NFL capable, it will help them no matter what. I agree. Houston becomes a member. Thank you, Houston. Appreciate you becoming a member. By the way, all of our members, we launched the 2 giveaways. So Jalen Hurts, 275 all-purpose yards. We do a jersey giveaway on the channel. Or the defense gives up 20 or less points. We give away a jersey. If both get activated, we're giving away multiple jerseys. And I got a feeling that I'm giving away 2 after the game tomorrow. I think we give up less than 20, and I think Jalen Hurts has 300. Rocksteady says, all right, we got that. So we got them all.
All right, here's one thing before I get these 2 guys on for the Battle Royale before Thursday's game.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Cowboys getting rid of Parsons. I don't like what they got because you're not getting any advantage. You're not getting any advantage on those picks until April of 26 and April of 27. So basically what you did was you traded straight up for Clark and Parsons. That's
only for 25. I mean, but I think that's the problem with what Jerry did is that he waved the white flag for this season, right? I mean, you don't now. Granted, we've talked about this. The next 2 drafts coming up are
sensational. This draft coming up in April is probably the best draft.
There's some good drafts coming up. So the Cowboys got 4 picks in the first round of the next 2 drafts. That's not a bad thing, but I think they could have got a 3rd first-round pick. I do. I really do.
Here's one more time on this draft, on this edge stuff, though. I showed everybody, and maybe to Mark's point here, I showed everybody the top 10 edge rushers in salary. Not one of them have been to a fucking Super Bowl and won it outside of Bosa getting there. I think that position's overhyped and overpaid, dude.
Not a bad take by you.
The Eagles did not need a premier edge rusher a year ago.
No, they didn't.
I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs have been to multiple Super Bowls, and they haven't had an edge that's a
premier. I mean, Josh was good, but he wasn't premier.
I mean, I think these guys, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, TJ Watt, what are these guys doing in the playoffs?
It's a good point. It's a good take. I mean,
you're paying them $40 million for what? To get bounced and go 9 wins.
Well, that's why I think, earlier, I don't know if Mark heard me, but I was saying, I get it. You traded away a great player, kind of a franchise icon. From that perspective, it sucks if you're a Dallas fan, but I don't really think that it's – you lost a great player. I don't really think the team got that much worse. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think we beat the shit out of them tomorrow because we're just a better team, but we'll see what ends up happening.
All right, big man. I appreciate you, man.
Later, Sills. Appreciate you.
Tomorrow on Birds, man.